And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire. Beginning of the stream, round 257. Everything should, in theory, pretty much be done for this turn. So, take one quick look around. See what the state of all our fronts is. Everything appears to be reasonably static. Come look at our orders here. Construction, most of it is going as planned. We got one solar panel field that is running behind schedule. We have an organic furnace that apparently we just started, probably? Yeah, just started. And then we have the deep core gas extractor that is behind schedule. But everything else proceeding as planned that we currently have built, or currently started building. And then victory score wise, we are now in first on the proverbial podium. We're not quite within distance of winning. We gotta get up to 50% to win, and we need the next closest to be 25% or lower. So there's a decent possibility that to actually win, we're gonna have to start a war with number 2. We have a small border with number 2 down here. We may be trying to get another border. Well, we're trying to potentially integrate the minor Xeno empires first. Which, if that were to be the case, we'd get a massive border with them along here. And if we could control that border, that actually offers some interesting situations where we could do a dash between these two cities, cut this city off, say crush that one. Like there's some interesting stuff we can get done if we can get the Xenos to jump to our side. Let's go ahead and bring up the current. Bottlenecks. Bottlenecks is probably what we want. If memory serves, we went ahead and set up a transport contract down here. It should pop up on the next turn. My read is correct. And okay, we are still working on shipping some items out of here. We got colonists coming out of here, 2,000 at a time, until we get down, complete the stockpile and get down to 100, or get down to 1,000. We've mostly caught up with the metal at this point from this zone. From over here, we got 7.6 thousand minerals. That apparently is a bottleneck, and actually that's the bottleneck is that bit. So Moncrun is having some shipping issues. That might be rail related, or could be improved by having the rail done. Where did we build the rail? Or have we not built the rail? There's the rail. So the rail asset's in. Hopefully the rail asset will make a difference. We'll see as time passes. Yeah, think with that quick overview, let's go ahead and actually get the turn to roll over. We do have a war with the nomads up on that other island. The early portion of the war from the last part, I think, was going pretty well, so I don't suspect that that will be a particularly long war. But it's also not necessarily a particularly rewarding war. The one commune, the other commune. Okay, we're getting attacked. Well, to be fair, the mercenaries aren't the strongest fighting tool in the shed. So it's maybe not surprising that one of your units is getting driven back. We're back around to our turn. Over the intern, we lost 300 of our mercenary infantry. In exchange, we actually killed about 300 of the nomads. We have 5 decisions winning us. Apparently we discovered another metal deposit, which is nice to know. And we gained a couple sleep projects. Waste of accident, yes, mitigate it as best as possible. Turning movement, we like mind. It comes with the drawback of the or we like meritocracy. It comes with a drawback of mind. Zone upgrade, Collins. Is this Collins? Yeah, that's Collins. We do probably want Collins to go up to 3. That's not a bad choice. So let's go ahead and take that. And then expand, or extend to the empty mine. And schedule a meeting with the aliens. This is the other one. This is the eastern one. If I can find where they are. Here, that's this guy's. So they got 76. We do want to improve their opinion with them. We got money. We'll give them credit. That's a lot of money, but we'll work with that. So fine. Okay, and then before we forget, let's go ahead and interact with slave traders and get our population.
Yes, sir.
Oops, that wasn't the right one.
Yes.
What's this one?
Standing by.
What's this one?
Roger that.
And we'll buy some more pop.
Roger that.
Oh, 4,000 more pop. Incrementally, that's not necessarily making the biggest difference in the victory score, but it is allowing us to grow decently fast. Okay, we'll march the whole 5th up, and the 5th and the 6th here. We'll go ahead and quickly crush this pocket.
Advancing. Here's this. Where's Lycus?
Okay, there we go. That's the pocket crushed. Apparently we are in a situation where... Oh, well, not all of them. Some of these guys might have... Oh, no, the mercs have. Okay. Is this someone in that hex? No. It's good to see. No one in that hex either. Okay, so 1 hex of enemy troops destroyed. These 2 brigades on the next turn are going to try to break into this one, and we're going to try to sort of encircle and slowly crush this pocket. And we must have the HQ march up. Prospecting. Don't necessarily know where that new metal deposit was, but it's somewhere. Depending on where it is, it might be worth trying to extract. Oh, not move. Actually, I probably want to try a strategic move with this one. Did we get the line up down there? We did. Okay, so you'll plop over there. It gives us a improvised zone. If these guys need us to be neighbors to them to get a peace treaty, then that'll work. With an empty age, let's set up on a shipyard. Makeshift port.
Affirmative.
And then let's try a transport contract this season, so we do the same with that guy.
Affirmative.
Got some pleas for friendship. At this point, we don't really need them as badly. It's easy enough to get approval with majors. It's actually the minors that's a little bit harder sometimes to get approval with. If I had 5 political power, or 50 political power, we'd take that. Let's do the Xeno Diplomat. Those guys.
Roger that.
We haven't got them up to 100 yet. Okay, well, let's check up the construction. Rail Station 2 in the capital is complete. Good to see. Everything else proceeded at speed, which is also good to see. Most of it's in the capital. This zone apparently could use more workers. No, well... Why are these guys marked as yellow, then? They don't need more workers. No, because they're being throttled to power, not due to people. That's what's going on. And we're working on that. We're building power increases. That's what a bunch of that stuff is. Do I start another serpentization plant? Could, hypothetically. This wouldn't be the worst place to do it either. Yeah, let's just go ahead and start up another serpentization plant. If power is our issue, then well, also we don't have to need this one.
Yes,
We
sir.
can do that. And serpentization field.
Yes, sir.
That'll be our construction increases for the turn. And then trade. Metal's still wildly expensive, so let's generate some money by selling an amount of metal. There we go. Piles of money. And we got 7 political power left. Won't quite be able to get all of the zoo products down, but we will deploy one of them. So all those zones have got zoo at 3. Actually, that zoo would not be a bad idea. Let's do the zoo there. And yeah, we'll see if, now that we have a border with these guys, if they'll want a peace treaty. If they get a peace treaty, then we can follow it up later with a integration treaty. To give us a bunch of territory. And then we're working on fighting these guys. Let's cycle the turn. So if everything goes really, really well, I think there is a decent possibility of us winning in this stream. It depends on how much the 3 sort of non-aligned miners have in victory score versus with the land, and combined with how quickly it takes for us to mobilize and prepare for war with the number 2. Because we're probably going to have to start a war with the major to win. Now, that war might be a short and very brutal affair, that's completely on our terms, where we rapidly overrun 3 or 4 cities of theirs, but and then promptly sue for peace, because it's probably not worth taking more than 3 or 4 cities of theirs because of naval invasion issues. Okay, so we're seeing our mercs be pushed back, which isn't particularly great, but that's if they weren't Xenos, unless we couldn't disband them to get if disbanding them actually were worth people, we probably would disband them instead of kind of use them casually as cannon fodder. Okay, there's automated logistics. That should, in theory, give us a bunch more logistical capacity. Got a commercial project, is not bad. Economic Council objectives. So we could do synthetic fuel, do volcanic energy tapping. Thinking it probably wants to be industrialization or robotization to improve productivity. So these are each going to give basically 100% output. So yeah, let's do mining. That'll help a little bit. Again, that sort of event is usually just prime them. Expansion corals. The relationship down or relationship up? We'll take the relationship up.
Yes, sir.
Transport contract. So we need to figure out where we're landing. I think it's the territory we want to land on, right? So, or is it the non-lined? There is some non-lined over there. Okay. But no, I think we want to land on the territory, if memory serves, right? Yeah, there's a little bit of non-lined there, but I don't know where we're going to land on. Yeah, is that this territory here? They're the guys we want to land on. Beach assault. It probably won't really be an assault, but beach assault. Embarking from the capital. Because it is saying it's beach assault, we're gonna do like the 1,000 for 42 minutes.
Roger that.
And then makeshift port, yeah, we'll pay the 250 credit. And we like government, so we'll pay them some money. Prove their opinion. And no luck yet with getting an event with these guys. I don't necessarily know how long it will take. But we'll stop advancing on them, because unification will just be easier than pissing them off and having to fight them. Okay, the offensive up here. We're back to it. Carry out. Both sets of brigades go in.
Advancing. Do no harm? Yeah, right.
That brigade ran that direction, which is fine. Okay, this might... we're only got 3 units doing the attack. This might not go super well. It's because we're going to run out of action points in the attack. No, it's going decently well. Okay, so we got that group surrendered. Okay, that's not bad. Push the quality units up a bit. Because again, we do kind of want to try to encircle all of them if we can. Mainly fighting with our high-quality troops rather than the low-quality troops.
Enemy. Yes, rise like us.
Okay, so deleted a stack, took 2 hexes off of them, so we are pushing them back. Before we forget, let's spend the political power getting the people from the people trader.
Yes, sir.
Standing by. Roger that. Roger that.
Okay, and then hiring-wise, this zone has been keeping up with hiring, right? Yeah, had no problem keeping up with that hiring. If anything, I might want to throw more population at it, just to build the town up some. The other thing is, what are my towns looking like? So you're at population 2, so let's actually throw some population at you. So it just needs to be population. Let's throw about 5,000 population at
Yes,
you.
sir.
That should allow you to level up to 3. Whether or not they'll ask next turn is a different question. And we'll work on improving this one as well.
Understood.
Okay, we got some spare political power. I could attempt to negotiate with the Xenos a little bit more, but I think instead we're going to go and play this corp tech and see what we get. We immediately got hydroponics robotization. Cool. So that was actually a truly free tech, I believe. It was. So immediately gave us our hydroponics. So in theory, we'll get 100% more production from our hydroponic assets. So I don't think that actually affects the farms, which is where most of our food's been coming from. So it was a tech we were probably going to want to pick up at some point. We'll check next turn if it actually affects the regular farms, or if it only affects the hydroponic ones. Well, that's the question. Is the tech we just completed actually applying already? In theory it is. So that should help a lot with the logistics. Well, probably doesn't affect the... Yeah, it doesn't look like it affects the ports. So the one thing we're going to have with problem with this is not going to affect our ports. And the other thing affects the planes either. So it doesn't affect the ports and planes. It affects everything else. It affects your default logistics assets, I think. Okay, we got 5 political power left. We're going to spend that on getting that commercial project played. Well, no, there we go. There's one place that doesn't have it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's roll the turn. The next turn, we should have enough logistics that we can strategically redeploy a Merc into the other Xeno zone, much like we just did. And then having neighboring with them should hopefully give us the opportunity to potentially negotiate a peace settlement, followed by a unification settlement, which would give us a bunch of land, which I suppose technically wasn't for free. Let's see if I can make words work. Isn't technically for free, but we paid for it with money and not human lives, so up to you whether you consider that free. Freer, cheaper in life. Okay, so Nomad's showing that Nomads are better than Mercs. Cool. We killed 200 infantry and lost 500. We didn't quite get the meritocracy as high as I would have liked. Commenced a rebel operation. Okay, so one of our guys just rebelled. That's what we get for not staying on top of people's opinions. Okay, way out there. Okay. Could have definitely been in a more annoying location. Am I missing a member of the 1st Light Infantry? Let's check. That shouldn't be too hard to check. So, raise formation. Missing unit. Nope, no formation's missing unit, so it's somewhere. Well, it got deployed somewhere. Not sure where. So, the thought process here is I was going to grab that entire brigade and send it over to deal with the rebels. I don't see a reason still not to do that. Oh, there's the last one. Hiding underneath the Galactic Group of Infantry. Alright, guards. Mass upgrade. OHQ. To 4. All that you've got.
Affirmative.
There we go. And then strategic move. Ah, well that's a fun day. We don't have enough transport into the island. So local militia will have to be enough for the moment. That
Do
X
no
is
harm.
ours.
Yeah, right.
Now let's take all the professional troops and beat this hex up.
Yes, sir. We're going in.
And that
Here's
goes
the
well.
dudes. Where's Lucas?
Pushing deep and harder. It looks like there's about 4 stacks left of functional guys. National budget's fine as is.
Roger that.
Copy that.
Pay them off. We can accept this
Order
demand. We like
received.
government. Appoint a governor to replace the rebel. Cap 4 that would be competent, but eh. Or Cap 1 that'd be competent. Cap 3 that's competent is probably good enough. Go with you.
Roger that.
Zone upgrades. This is Dionysus Ocean from us moving more people in there,
Yes,
so we'll
sir.
take it upgrading to the next town size. Alien natives are entering the gateway. Explain things.
Roger that.
Alien visits are quickly getting less after our xenobiologist talked with them. They seem to understand the message. Holy
Roger
Army.
that.
So gateway is this one. So okay, that wasn't the event we wanted, but that's a fine event. What else do we want to do? We've got 10 opinion with them. Oh, we got that shipment route set up. So the other aliens down here, them. Let's strategically redeploy you. And you'll be deployed to that beach. And then Delia Bay 3 here can get makeshift port.
Affirmative.
Leaves us with 20 political power, or 25 political power. Let's get that commercial and zoo projects deployed.
Roger that.
Yes, sir.
And I think already hit the slave traders, yeah. Okay, let's attempt to keep the rebellion from getting worse. Apparently our word's a bit shifty, that's why people aren't supporting us. Let's look at our personnel. Who has the lowest opinion? Person in the reserve pool. He's only capped 2, so we're actually going to try to make this person cease being our problem. Conan Sylpath. So leaders, target, Conan. We could try to improve his opinion, but yeah, we're getting him a payday and put him on very early
Order
retirement.
received.
Success. Into retirement he goes. Okay. Next lowest one, also a Cap 3 person. Let's plan on doing the same. I think they need int 3 or 35 plus for... Oh, I don't even know the card. One of the bad cards is... Oh, one of the cards you can get fate points for is reduce someone's stats. Okay, so who was that? That was just looking at. Dolores. Sorry, Dolores Nash. You're on the target list for people we're possibly going to get rid of.
Order received.
And Gracely goes into retirement. Okay, so average opinion is above 52. Or opinion is now above 52 for all the remaining counselors who have not yet been rebelling. I might still get rid of, what was that? Was a cap 1 guy? At 63? Boba? Yeah, let's have Boba also join the retirees. Oh no, I'm not able to make him join the retirees. We don't have the power for that. We've used up all of the bad cards. The governor of Munkron here has only 52 opinion. We'll give him an official gift.
Order received.
There we go. He's much happier for the moment. For that, let's cycle the turn. Oh, we got a bunch of colonists I should probably send somewhere, and getting Fultonwith here up to size 3 is probably a good place to send him.
Understood.
Construction-wise, most of everything is proceeding at speed, except the serpentization plant and one of the solar panels. The serpentization plant should actually be done next turn. We'll probably just respond to its completion by telling it to continue to upgrade. Because one of the things we think we're having issues with is power. So more power is good. Yeah, lots of places are complaining about a little shortage of power. So more power is good. And let's roll that turn. As far as these interns are concerned, right now the most interesting front we're on is probably the Nomads. Most of the other majors, we shouldn't really see them doing anything. There we go, the Nomads are taking their actions. They came out in heavy force against Mercs, but otherwise, pretty much not anything. Round 261, 8 decisions. Metal Mine Community was removed, so that's a little bit of a disappointment, because that means we've completely depleted a metal source. And we promised 6, we only got 5, so we lost another demand, which is not great. Making our word even more shifty. Extraction?
Order
No.
received.
Yeah, let's give everyone a little bit of a raise.
Roger that.
So, slight premium boost across the board. No political power cost. Though, ongoing wage cost, I suppose. Staff Council is without leadership, because that was... Why did we... Is that the rebel from last turn? Yeah, that's the rebel from last turn. Staff counselor was the one who rebelled. Okay. So we don't have anyone necessarily suitable for the role, but someone with 6 is probably fine. A decent cap leader is probably what we want. We got a couple 3s, so that's not going to be a problem.
Understood. Order received. Understood.
So this is the zone we set up by setting up that makeshift port. Obviously no one really works there or lives there yet, so I'm setting it up for if we decide to send some colonists in.
Roger that.
Makeshift port. Yep.
Roger that.
Only one choice. Well, there's 2 choices. There's yes or no, basically. Explain things or security forces. Explain things, please. Okay, all our supply routes here are still black, which isn't particularly great. Oh, we found a GR shield, of all things.
Engage the enemy.
Taking a little bit of damage in this time, but this is the bigger stack we are attacking.
Successful.
Okay. Okay, so now we got the whole 5th division circling the right stack, so if... Actually, we probably don't have enough firepower to follow up on the brigade there. Probably do have enough here. Let's push this one back. Again, using mostly the professional troops, leaving the mercs on the defense. Okay, so we have decent supplies, and we might not have decent supplies, to be fair. There are some indications that we're having road issues. Starting to have road issues. So at this point, I think, have we secured all the ruins here? We have. Okay, so in Nelsenhaven here, their archaeological effort. Archaeological effort says there's no artifacts in those ruins. Okay. Just had to check.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Standing by. Roger that. Roger that.
Oh, hello, Twitch chat. Are we on track for win today? Possibly. Yeah, we got lots of black bottlenecks all going at the same island at least. So it's just the one island that's having issues. Victory point wise, we are the score leader. It's not just we have to get 15% more victory score, but also we need to shove down number 2. So we're maybe on track. It depends on how quickly we can mobilize and how quickly we can get the territories to swap to us. Finish the solar panel, finish the solar panel, finish the serpentization field. So let's go ahead and continue that upgrade.
Order received.
Got more colonists. Let's go ahead and get these guys over here.
Understood.
Trying to build up that city. Okay, so Q to U, opt to replace the one that finished. Everything else, except for the deep core gas extractor, is looking good. Oh, mining. Observe looking like. So, Lime Top, the Lime Top metal mine is empty. So that was the... and that was there. So that was the community that just disbanded. It is empty, so it was a metal accessibility one that is now empty. Same thing with the capital one. So those neither can be upgraded. The Lime Top oil is about to run out, so it would make sense to do a peripheral mining on Lime Top.
Affirmative.
Debating. Yeah, that'll probably be worth the effort. So what we're gonna do is industry here, not industry, logistics. Rail station. Railhead. And rails. So that'll take a little while to come to effect. Once that's in effect, what I'm thinking we're going to make the northern portion of this island another zone to operate the mines here. Got a nice mining zone there. Or a nice potential mining zone there. In which case then we'll probably start shipping, once we deal with the nomads in, ship in all the colonists to man those mines. Let's cycle the turn. Interns should be boring. We'll see what the nomads do. We haven't circled them enough with professional troops. They might not do much. Because most of the damage they've been doing recently has just been picking on the mercs. So, with no mercs to pick on, they might simply just be a little passive. They attack. Technically had a victory, but it was victory versus the mercs. I think the mercs basically just withdrew under enemy firepower, so that's good. Nor losses, nor kills, that's good. We got 8 decisions. One of which is what we're gonna do with those quack doctors. Now we're just filling all our word demands recently.
Understood.
You want bureaucratic assets, you hit 29. That's only 2 levels. I think we can do 2 levels.
Affirmative.
If we can find some cheap ones to do.
Copy that. Yes, sir.
Point to governor. Cap 1. Again, we're getting an option of cap 1, but 36 suitability, which maybe isn't the end of the world. But 18 with 3 is probably better. Yeah, 18 with 3 is better.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
And that oil well. Alien Data is one of an official peace treaty, so that's what we were fishing for, so we got that peace treaty.
Roger that.
Which one was that? Was that this one or the other one? This one.
Roger that.
Send a diplomat to negotiate their integration.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Going to
sir.
the people trader, firing our 4,000 people a turn.
Standing by. Roger that. Roger that.
Okay, let's see if the blue one going by itself can succeed here.
Advancing. Do no harm?
There we go.
Yeah, right.
And then the pink purple go in here against this one.
Engage the enemy.
Operation successful.
Alright, some of these guys have enough action points to try a follow-up. So let's have them do that follow-up.
We need ammo. Get out.
Okay, they might be weak enough that we just have the mercenaries pile in. The mercenaries can finish the job. And that stack.
Yes, sir. We're going in. Mission successful.
Here we go. One remaining stack of enemy resistance. Okay, obviously not enough for a follow-up. That's where the break will be for the turn. Next turn, I think we'll probably finish with the nomads and be able to start rapidly building guys out of this zone to lower the logistics drain the zone has.
Yes, sir. We're going in.
Attacking the rebels. Rebels surrender.
Successful.
That is the end of the rebellion. So I'm having a question of, did that new exclave town happen, or help with the diplomacy with those miners? And I think the answer is yes. So I think you only get events associated with Xeno miners if you are adjacent to them. And the event that allows them to come to you demanding, or come to you asking for peace, an official statement of peace, I believe is considered an event. So they have to spawn that event, which means you need to be adjacent to them. So that's what this exclave down here was primarily for. I suppose once we integrate them, this zone, their zone, will become that zone. So the zone has a very useful purpose. It's just isn't necessarily a big zone to start with, because it's basically gonna have that zone. Same thing over here. So this is another native alien territory. We're now basically fishing for an event with that alien territory for pretty similar reasons. Okay, our trader to there's got Your transport route there goes 6 turns left. It might be a little bit tempting to actually upgrade that one. Yeah, and after I described that to the Twitch viewer, he's going, yep, the leader meets you on the border. We're pretty summary reason events. Nope. Well, that's one of the reasons I'm actually playing in headphones, is so that the audio doesn't get caught up on the mic. Yeah. So we've done those events, yes? Did the slave trader, yes. Trade routes are fine for those 6 turns. The serpentization plant in Collins is done, so we're getting a little more power that way. Solar field is complete. Railhead is complete. It's got to be combined with the rail station. The rail station is actually delayed. It's going to take another extra turn, basically. Solar field, expansion Collins, will complete next turn. Looks like the serpentization plant in the capital was delayed. The eco miner's got 2 turns left. Okay. I think we may have solved the power problem, because we no longer have any place complaining about power. No, never mind. There's a couple places. Though that might be logistics issues. That might be the black trade logistics issue. Okay, so we're getting 98% of that route. It may still make sense to expand the port at some point, because that's what's limiting us with that logistics. Oh, also, let's start throwing colonists at this island.
Roger that.
And then... yeah, it'll be a little bit of stretch. This one will probably get delayed a little bit, but let's expand port. Yeah, so we still haven't... have we even discovered it? Power banks. Yeah, we haven't researched power banks. We're at research level 17. Power banks would definitely help with knowing if we're power positive or not, or if it's logistic issues. Okay, so we're not having a port issue with that one. We could probably actually just expand the deliveries there. Same thing there, we can potentially expand the deliveries there. Let's see if we can do a delivery expansion to Zomhaven. So, transport contract, that zone. See next turn. Okay, and let's save the rest of the willpower for next turn. Unless we want to try redeploying that. Okay, so we can't get it on the island, so we're not going to bother for the moment. Second turn. And at this point, we do have the last remaining pocket of the nomads surrounded with professional troops. But there's a bunch of non-professional troops as well, but the professional troops is probably enough to suppress them from trying to fight back out of their pocket. So we know we'll have at least one decision next turn. We'll see how many more than that. Oh, now that I'm thinking about technology, I just remembered I should probably check to see what is our Applied Science Council up to. Suffer no losses, nor made kills. We have 8 decisions. One of which is what to do with the roaming thieves. Incident with lack of action. Just ignore it.
Understood.
You want civilization level to hit 7.71. What do we currently have civilization-wise? Okay, so that might be easy, that might be hard. What makes that hard in theory is as the square root of the average zone civilization level. We'll agree to it. It might...
Yes.
That might be another thing we're just going to fail. Or it might be something we succeed at. I'm not sure. Protests against high income tax. Calm them down?
Understood.
Failure. Piss them off. Okay. Roaming thieves, yes, do what you can to mitigate that. New zone. Public budget. If there's workers here, have some worker salary. And if you ever start recruiting colonists or recruits, give them 15 to sign up. Regular zone, allow emergency food, supply units, and
Yes,
confirm.
sir. Roger that, sir.
So we want to try transporting more to there from the capital. Yeah. Let's try to set up another 25,000 for... Or we fully splurge. Let's fully splurge.
Roger that.
Should be overkill. Schedule a meeting with alien natives. This is the one we have the alliance with. We don't have enough political power to do the big ceremony, so we'll just do the normal ceremony and hope that it succeeds.
Roger that.
And we failed. The aliens do not currently seem interested in our offer. 123 versus 142. Okay, we'll try again. We'll just save up more political power and hope that we can get the, or can do the better result attempt.
Roger that.
Oh, I suppose I should take, instead of shipping those guys south, we should ship mercs out of the zone so that we've got space for the professional troops to do the attack with. Okay, all the professional troops carry out the attack. Should hopefully be an easy victory.
Here's Deus. Where's Lycus?
And there we go. starting to move everyone back to the road. We'll see if we can do some strategic movements to get them moving a little bit faster next turn. And we can already see that the colonists we sent here earlier have decided, you know what we need? We need farms. Or maybe not rock. Let's give them some more colonists.
Roger that.
%35%. Oh, and we're now, in theory, got enough stuff shipped off the island that the logistics are starting to turn non-black. On one of the shipping routes, we got positive 1% spare capacity, apparently. It's not much capacity, but it's some. And that will probably improve over time. Collins, solar panel field completed. Port proceeded at 70% speed. Gas injector at speed. Thermalization plant. Well, it got delayed twice, so we basically did 1 turn of work in 2 turns. Rail station expected to complete next turn. Okay. Whoops, I've been letting the time go far too long. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up next. There will be a part up tomorrow. With the intent to keep these to 30-40 minutes long, I have already let it go for an hour. It was good, apparently. I was enjoying myself. So with that, if you're watching on YouTube, again, there will be a part up tomorrow. If you're watching Twitch, I'm going to take a short break and get right back to recording the next part. As usual, I'm going to try to record 5 parts tonight. I suppose we just basically did a double part, but I'll try to record 5 parts tonight. Or try to win, whichever seems the most feasible. With that, we're going to basically play out we're going to watch this end turn, where we're not really expecting anything interesting, because at this point, the only person that would attack us, which was the nomads, is dead. So, should be a fairly boring end turn. We're just watching it play out. So until next time, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. And now that it's at the beginning of round 254 or 264, we're going to take a part break here. So wish you all the best of luck, and bye for now.